Hello trainees. Today we are going to learn about lesson plan preparation. The objectives of the video are: after the session you will be able to define lesson plan, explain the components of a lesson plan. So let's begin.
Definition of a lesson plan. A lesson plan is a detailed description of the course of instruction prepared by an instructor for an individual lesson related to theory. Let's move on to the major and minor components of a lesson plan. The major components of 4-step of a lesson plan are preparation step, presentation step, application step, testing step. Let's look at the preparation step in detail. Preparation step: title and objectives, teaching aids, review, motivation. Let's look at objectives. Teaching a lesson has specific goals or purpose we call objectives. Let's look at teaching aids. When multiple senses of the learner, that is hearing, seeing, smelling, etc., are involved, then learning becomes interesting and easy. In the training of craftsmen, we can also show the learners the tools, materials, machines, and processes through actual objects or through charts, models, through projectors, or by other manner than to get them listening to the instructor. So the instructor must try to obtain these items and make them ready to use before the class starts. Let's look at introduction. How are you going to introduce a new lesson in the class must be written briefly. If this lesson is linked with a previous lesson, then you need to use this link between the known to the unknown. At this stage, you need to motivate the learners to make them interested in the new lesson. An introduction to a lesson need not be a lengthy one. A few relevant points properly developed with realistic examples which the learner can understand. Let's look at review. Just because the learners are physically present in the class, that does not mean that they are mentally ready to understand your presentation. You need to make the learners ready or prepared to receive the new lesson before you start to teach. Then the first thing you have to do in a class is to discuss the important topics of the previous lesson. As you discuss, write some small questions about previous lesson to make sure that the learners have remembered what you taught in the previous class. You can show the importance of the current lesson by connecting it to the previous one. If it's the first lesson, talk about what learners already know about this topic. Let's look at motivation. Motivation is creating willingness. As an instructor, you must make the trainees excited about learning the new lesson. Have some short notes on how you are going to create interest in the minds of learners to learn the new lesson. Let's move on to presentation step. Topics and developments, information points, hints. Let's look at topics. The important points in the lesson that is going to be taught should be developed with interesting catchwords written clearly so that you can refer and pick up at a glance. You don't have to write full sentences. Depending on the objectives or goals of the lesson to be taught, select the topics. These topics should be arranged in a logical sequence. Let's look at the information points. Summarize important points using keywords and short phrases similar to a telegraph message. Write the must-know information of each topic properly. Let's look at information points. You can use codes, symbols, and abbreviations that are familiar and convenient in reference to the objectives and topics. Let's look at spot hints. You need to enter spot hints in the appropriate place. These hints can be in the form of codes, symbols, or simple diagrams made to capture the learner's attention and make the instruction as effective as possible. You can also use charts, models, and abbreviations that you find easy and familiar to improving your teaching efforts. For instruction at a particular stage of development of the lesson, a chart is to be shown, may be indicated as W/C or C, and asking a question by A or Q or a question mark as keyword, as the entire plan is made and used by you in the presentation stage. Displaying of teaching aids is important for effective teaching. Let's move on to application step. Learning occurs when the learner has the chance to apply their acquired knowledge in real life situations. Sometimes there isn't enough time for this application during the class presentation. Therefore, it's crucial to tell how these opportunities will be provided during the application stage of the lesson. This can be achieved by asking direct questions related to the topics to the learners. This gives learners an opportunity to demonstrate their understanding, seek clarification for any doubts they may have, and engage in interactive discussions. Also, when trainees answer, tell them how good the answer was. Also, repeat the correct answer. Let's move on to test step. During this stage, it's important to ask trainees comprehensive questions about the lesson that was just taught. These questions can be presented either orally or in written form. Remember to have eye contact when asking questions and receiving answers. Let's look at assignment. Some questions which were discussed about the lesson should be written under assignment. Related problems, exercises, and different question types, both objective and subjective, can be provided on separate assignment sheets. Let's look at next lesson. Title of the next lesson to be taken has to be mentioned under this heading. A brief insight into the next lesson must be given to help the learners to think ahead of the subject and make them to understand better. Although we have seen a model lesson plan, let's actually go through a lesson plan for computer network. Trade, computer, date. Lesson number 4. Module or unit 1. Time 30 minutes. 1. Preparation. Title: Computer Networks. 1. Objectives. After teaching this lesson, the learners will be able to 1. Define a computer network. 2. Explain network protocol. 3. State the different types of network. 4. Describe network topology. 2. Teaching aids. Essential teaching aids: computer multimedia, projector, screen, etc. 3. Introduction. A. Review, programming. B. Motivation. Network link computers from different places. 2. Presentation. Developments or topic. Information points. Hints. 1. Computer network. Collection of hardware components and computers interconnected by communication channels that allow sharing of resources and information. Use chart, projector. Network. 2. Protocol. Communication protocols define the rules and data formats for exchanging information in a computer network and provide the basis for network programming. Developments or topics. Information points. Hints. 3. Types of networks. 1. Local area network, LAN. 2nd. Wide area network, WAN. 3rd. Metropolitan area network, MAN. 4. Network topology. Network topology is the layout pattern of interconnections of the various elements, links, nodes, etc. of a computer. Some types of topology are star, bus, ring, mesh. 5. Advantages. People can communicate efficiently and easily via email, instant messaging, telephone, video conferencing, printer, sharing, etc. 3. Application. Information points. 1. What is a computer network? 2. Tell few advantages of a computer network. 3. What is network topology? Summary. Summarize the lesson. Definition, protocol, types of network, topology. Diagram. 4. Test. Assignment. Add assignment sheet separately. Reference, Computer Networks by Andrew S. Tannenbaum. Next lesson, Internet. Let's quickly recap what we have learned till now.
This lesson on lesson plan preparation highlights its definition and components. The preparation step involves title, objectives, teaching aids, review, and motivation. The presentation step covers topics, information points, and hints. Application focuses on real-life application and testing involves comprehensive questions. Hope you have understood everything taught in the video. See you in another interesting and exciting video. Until then, thank you and goodbye.